Good morning, Guardians. I am the Darling Buster, and welcome back to the first Zer's Words of Year 2. Why it's been so long? Well, if you've been watching or keeping an eye on my channel, which you probably haven't by this point, you should probably see that I've had some technical difficulties. But let's get past those. That's not why we're here this morning. We're here for Zer, and as you can see, there are people floating around over there, going into their vault, picking up the strange coins, and heading on down to the Tower North to find out where Zer is hiding. To be honest, he's not not particularly hiding very well. But besides that, he's not hiding very well, unlike my hunter when hiding in the bushes. Anyway, guys, just a quick note before we go in and see his inventory. His inventory has changed, and the way it's set up has changed a little bit. It has changed in the sense that some weeks, and for some weeks to come, he has actually had weapons on sale. Now, you're probably screaming at me, yeah, he had weapons on sale in Year 1. True, he did. Except in Year 1, sometimes he had a weapon, and sometimes he had an engram. They've changed that, so you still get, sometimes you get a weapon and sometimes you get an engram. However, there is also something else called a legacy engram, and in those legacy engrams, which changes weekly, there's a chance, well, it's not a chance, you will get yourself a Year 1 version of a gun. So you can get your things like your Thorn, your Bad Juju, which is a shame because they were once effectively quest items. Things like the current Sleep Simulant or Chaperone. It's a bit of a shame that they've kind of moved away from that for Year 1 guns, which is a bit of a shame. Traveller Intensity of Venus? Okay, cheers, love. But that's basically what it is. So, his inventory is a little bit different. The exotics themselves may also be a little bit different as well. So anyway, guys, let's go and have a look and see what Zer has on this week. Okay. The other thing with exotics, their stats can change as well, so I won't be reporting on their stats anymore. Okay. Okay, so let's first of all get straight through to the Titan gear, who has no backup plans for the Titan, which now shotgun kills now trigger the force barrier, and the force barrier duration is now increased, which is what it always did. But the shotgun kills trigger force barrier, which is quite nice for if you decide to run around with an Amobius. I may well one day do a video for my defenders setup in the Crucible. Bear in mind, this is notably used for things like Skirmish, possibly Trials of Osiris, Skirmish, I'm pretty sure I've just said Skirmish, Trials of Osiris, Salvage, and of course Rumble. Rumble is where I've really used it, and it does work quite well. And I'll do a separate video on that to come. One also thing, if you can, and I'm pretty sure you always do, but you always get no backup plans held on with increased reload speed with shotguns. I can tell you a really nice little setup that goes really well with that when I do the video on my Titan to show you what I believe is a good setup for Defender Titan in Crucible. Well, it pretty much reloads your shotguns instantaneously. Moving on to Hunters. Pardon me. We've got Knucklehead Radar. Okay, so nothing's really changed about this gun. Its perk of radar remaining visible whilst aiming your primary weapons is still the same from Year 1. There is nothing else added to it. One thing that is different that you may have noticed is that the other perks may be different. They are not set perks anymore. And I'll get down to that because there is another curious item that Zer sells that changes that. Okay, going on to the Year 2 Apotheosis Veil for the Warlocks. You get immediate health melee grenade regeneration upon activating your super. So this is actually a pretty good Super now, where it is in year 1, it didn't really do anything fancy, so to speak. Yeah, it didn't really have a perk of its own to really do anything. So, with this one, it doesn't matter what your health level is, it automatically regens your health. That was the only thing it did in year 1, it just regens your health upon activating your super. Cool. It was great when Crota was the hard thing, and you had no chance of light. You had to rely upon abilities to get your health back, but now it does so much more. It recharges your melee and your grenade instantly upon activating super. Naturally, as you can probably imagine, this is probably more useful for Sunsingers. Upon activating Radiance, naturally you'll get your melee and your grenade regeneration. You don't have to wait for it to charge, particularly if something like Trickle's on, I would imagine. So you automatically get your melee and your grenade back straight away for you to then spam the hell out of as a Sunsinger. Moving on to the weapon of this choice. Now you see, it's Dragon's Breath. Now Dragon's Breath has gone through a bit of a facelift, to be honest. As you can read there, it releases a solar trigger after weapon fire to drop a solar damage napalm canister. Now you think, okay. Sounds a bit weird. Pretty much, instead of leaving the silly little sun, now, Dragon's Breath basically decimates. It basically just leaves a massive pool of fire, which you can get rocket after rocket after rocket, so the damage stacks like hell. You could effectively say that this has become the year 2 Galahorn because of the amount of damage output it actually does. On certain bosses, you can do upwards of 1,000 damage a second, and then if you load and rocket after rocket after rocket after rocket, it stacks. So you're doing 2,000 damage, 3,000 damage, and so on. Obviously, until the napalm actually wears off. The other intriguing thing about Dragon's Breath now is it's basically like a remote control. When you fire it, if you hold down the trigger button, it basically effectively loads an napalm canister for remote detonation. So if you let go of it at any point, let go of your trigger during any point in its trajectory, it will drop. The canister will drop and naturally it'll explode. Word of warning though, the canister does bounce. So if you accidentally hit what you're aiming at, or you hit a wall, or even when you drop it prematurely, expect it to bounce off something. This is always the case. The other thing they've done with Dragon's Breath, they've actually reduced its velocity further, which initially sounds like a bad idea, but when you realise that they did it to help with the aiming of the napalm canister, there you go. That's pretty much why they did it. In addition to that, they also added on the surplus perk, so you expect more ammo to find the weapon, and as well they've also took off the tripod ability, basically removing its 3 rocket magazine and reducing it to 1, and then giving it final round, not final round, whatever the perk's called that allows you to reload with the final round. I can't remember at this current moment in time. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. Basically, it increases reload speed if you get a kill with the rocket that you've got loaded into it. Anyway, moving on away from Dragon's Breath now. With the Legacy Anagram, for those of you who are interested, is for a heavy weapon, so expect to find Galahorns and all sorts of things in there. Removing the joy of getting your first Galahorn from a raid boss or your Nightfall or something like that. Nowadays, it's kind of just like, go to Zer, pick up a Legacy Engram, and look, there you go, you've got one. Curios this week, for those of you who are still interested, we have just had the Sparrow Racing League, or SRL. So these probably aren't quite so interesting anymore, considering the new Sparrows that we've got. But we've got the Plasma Drive, the Blue upgrade, and the Stealth Drive, the Red Sparrow upgrade. Zer's also changed out how many heavy ammo synths he gives, but you still get it at a reasonably good deal. So you spend 1 strange coin and you get 3 heavy ammo synths. So, usual heavy ammo synths. We've also got the 2 new items right there. We've got the 3 of coins. So if you use one of these before or at any point, and the next Ultra UK, so they're the ones with the little skulls next to them, or during before the end of your next Crucible match, there's a chance that you could get an exotic engram. So it won't be a legacy engram, so there's no chance in hell that you're going to walk into the tower and just casually pick up a Galahorn from a year 2 one. You will pick up a year 2 item. So naturally, the way engrams work in year 2, this could depend on what your light level is. So the higher your light level, the higher the light the item will drop out of the engram out. I think at the moment the highest I've seen is 310. I've not seen anybody who's dropped a 320 exotic, but apparently they are floating around, especially if you are 320. But I've not seen, pardon me, hiccups at this time in the morning. I have not seen anybody who is at 320, I should say. Now the next curious item next to it is Glass Needles. As you can see, it requires a bit of more than strange coins. You do need motes of light and you do need exotic shards to go with them. However, these shiny little bits of glass, basically what you do is you use them to go onto your exotic gear. So say if you're not happy with the stat distribution or you're not happy with certain perks and you want to swap them up, that's what it does. It basically allows you to reforge your exotic armour. And only exotic armour. It doesn't work on legendaries, it doesn't work on anything else, it doesn't work on the guns, it doesn't work on anything like that. It basically just works on exotic armour, so you can flip around the perks. So you can get the exact roll that you were looking for, stat-wise and perk-wise. The only perk that will not change is obviously the perk that gives it, the given perk that goes with it. In no backup plans, it is the increased force barrier. Increased force barrier duration, and of course shotgun kills. That will never change. Everything else could change, well, apart from the shotgun kills thing. The shotgun reloader, I've not seen a different pair of no backup plans without shotgun loader, so that might be another choice perk that is fixed to it. So guys, I hope you will. I hope you will, sir. Anyway, so guys, this has been the first Zers Words for 2000. Well, it is the first Zers Words of 2016, and it is also the first Zers Words of year 2 of Destiny. It is the 8th of January 2016, so it's a little bit delayed, but Happy New Year to those of you who have had a very good New Year. For those of you who haven't celebrated New Year, i.e. the likes of the Chinese, well, I'm sure I'll wish you a Happy New Year when that comes around. But anyway guys, I have been the Dollar Buster. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Bye bye.